To me, I've always read the story and asked myself, why does someone shower with the curtains open? Have you ever wondered that? You know, I shower myself and I will never leave the door open. But it was so that Sister Bathsheba was showering, and whilst David was walking on the temple, he saw that she was showering. I said to myself, this lady, is it really David's fault for the person showering? But we leave it for heaven. However, it so happens that David sends his servants and they collect Bathsheba for him. And he lies with her and they do a sin which is not pleasing in the sight of the Lord. They commit the sin and they go about it like it's normal. When she becomes pregnant, David becomes more conniving. He becomes more, what is the nice word? He becomes like a sort. He now plans and he says, I got someone's wife pregnant. Instead of admitting, he decides, let me bring the husband from the war front. Because he was the one in the front line of the war. And he brings Uriah and he sits him down at a table, gives him wine to drink, and says, go and sleep with your wife. Just to cover up the pregnancy and say that it is what? It is his. But Uriah is a man that feared the Lord. And as he walks out of the palace of David, the Bible accounts to us that he says, how can I live luxuriously while the soldiers of the Lord fight day and night? And he slept at the gate. In the morning, a report comes to David and he's told that no, the man didn't sleep with his wife. You see, it's very scary in this life. People who are not partakers of the sin are covering it up. And they go to David and they say, David, this man did not sleep with his wife. David is now worried. And he has to think of something worse. And he writes a letter. And because Uriah is an honest man, it is sealed and he carries the letter to the forefront. And he carries it to a man called Abner. And he gives the letter to Abner. Abner opens the letter and it reads, Abner, please take Uriah and put him in the front line, in front of everybody. So that it is so that when our enemies shoot arrow, whatever may happen, they may hit him. Imagine carrying a letter that instructs for your own death. And I read the Bible and I say, why is God telling us to follow such people? If you look at the definition of David, he is called a man after what? God's own heart. And I say, is this surely the man after God's own heart? And Uriah dies, and after Uriah dies, he allows Bathsheba to mourn a short while. And after that, he takes her to be his wife. And business continues as usual. Are we together? But heaven is not mindful of small things and the fact that they go unnoticed. God sends a prophet. The prophet who was named Nathaniel. Sorry, not Nathaniel. Nathan, to be specific. Nathan comes to David. And he gives a parable and he says, there was a man who had a lot of sheep, and there was another farmer next to him who only had one. And this man who had plenty decided to go and take from the one who had only one. And all of a sudden, David stands up and he says, this injustice cannot be done in Israel. We stand for fairness. And he says, where is he that I may cut him off myself? And Nathan says to David, you are the man. You have many wives. You have much riches. But you went over to Uriah and you stole the only one thing that he has. And that is the foundation of what we are about to read now, church. When he is told this, he goes to his room and he prays. And this is the prayer of the sinner. Let's open Psalms. Psalms chapter 51. I will give the church a short time to get there. I do not preach long sermons. My head elder is here. he can attest to the fact that we will finish on time so that we can go and eat lunch and come back. But nevertheless, let us go to the chapter quickly. Now, verse 1 says, "Have mercy upon me, O God, according to thy loving kindness, according to the multitude of thy tender mercies, blot out my what? My transgression." Now, it is important that we understand specific words. You see, the word mercy that is used here is a very important word. There are two types of mercy in the Hebrew context. There is mercy that is deserving. Do you get what I'm saying? When a mother is beating a child, and the child says, "Have mercy upon me," he is saying, because you love me, don't beat me so much. Are we together? So this is that group. Are we together? Not that you should beat children by virtue of that. No. We are saying you are the group that represents loving mercy. Are we together? And just for the sake of being Adventist, the Hebrew word that was used is rakamen. Are we together? What is the word? Thank you. On this side, we have a different type of mercy. We have a mercy that is given because you are deserving. Are we together? Now, in the Hebrew, the word is chasem, but they also say ra chasem. Are we together? What is the word? And so, when we are fighting, Brother Max, please come. If Brother Max and I fight, we can see that he will win. Eh? Yeah. By virtue of height already, I will not reach where I need to. And so when I ask him for mercy, he's not my mother. Are we together? And so I will ask him mercy. Why? 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 The church cannot. There's no verse that says thou shalt not answer the prayer. It's not the preachers. Why should he show me mercy if we are fighting? Yes. Because he's greater and stronger than I. Are we together? At this point, I am saying